Hi everyone, welcome back to another video in the Java Full Stack Developer series. Today, we'll jump into a practical and essential topic, working with files in Java. We'll cover things like checking if a file exists, creating and deleting files, working with folders, and even renaming and removing files. These are skills you are definitely need with building real-world applications. Alright, let's start with the basics. Sometimes you need to check if a file is already there before performing any operation, right? So in almost the case, we need to use a class in Java. That class is file from the java.io package. Okay, when I enter, the important line automatically generated here, but if not, you need to manually type in. Okay, and then you will create an instance or a variable name file for this class, and we will new an instance by keyword new and the file, and for the parameter of the file, we will put the path of the file you want to open or you want to working on. And not even file, you can work in with the folder via the file class. Okay, and before we put the path name, we need to create something. You can click on the hello world root folder and you new a directory like this, and you can create the name is something like data. Okay, and now you have a folder named data in your root project, and inside the data, okay, before we do that, we can put the data here like this. So now this path is just point to a folder named data, and now we can check if the file exists like this. It means you check if this folder is exists, and if it exists, you will print this text to the console: the file exists. And if not, you will print out a text: the file does exist. Alright, and now let's run the program. Alright, and you can see the file exists because you already have created the data folder before. So let's try to delete this folder and see what happened now. Alright, the file doesn't exist. Okay, so let's create that folder again, and inside the folder you will create a file named data.txt, and I will close this first, and then you change a little bit on the path name to point to the data.txt like this, and now the path is point to a file, not a folder. Okay, so this case we just check this method exists on a file to see what it can do. Alright, so the file Instead, the file object can also perform the method exist correctly on the file. Alright, now let's create a file by the code. Alright, so let's you need to, okay, we have a data that's .txt right here, right? So you change it a little bit for the path. You change it to the new data .txt for the part of the file. And now, instead of checking the file is exit, you will do this. You will do the file create new file like this. And because this method will throw you an exception named IO exception, so you need to wrap it by a try-catch block, right? Remember this? Alright, so now you can run the program to see what happened. Yeah, you can see on the left side panel, you see the new data.txt file is created here. Alright, but you can see some warning is shown here. The result of the file create new file is ignored. So this method, you can press the control or press NLT on press the control or press the command on your system and click on this method to see the body of it, and you can see this method will return a boolean. This boolean means that whether the method execute successfully or fail. So you can use if clause to check whether the file was created. Okay, if the file was created, you can print the file created here, and if not, you can print the file already exists. The file is already exit. In this case, the file you have created before. So now, if you run it again, you can reach this error. The file cannot be created again because it already exists here. Sometimes you can create a file, so the catch block will be reached, and you can do something else for the exception. Now let's delete a file. It's very easy. You just change the method by delete, and the delete won't throw any exception, so you don't need to use the try-catch block to wrap it. And in here, the method will return you a boolean value that gives you the result whether the method is operate successfully or not. And here we can write file deleted if it's success, and for the opposite, you can print the failure to delete the file. Alright, so let's run this. Okay, you can see it's successfully because we see the file delete in the console, but when we run it again, the file now is not already exists, so it shows you a failure to delete the file. Alright, and next we have talk about the file, sometimes it's folder and sometimes it's file, right? But if you want to know whether it is file or it is a folder, what you can do, so it's very easy. We also have a method, another method, that is file. Okay, it's very easy, right? If the file is the file. Okay, I think when I put the name of the file is file, that's very confused for you, right? So we just change this to another name like path. Okay, so you can understand it clearly. Alright, so if the path is file, you can print out to the console that this is a file, right? And if the path is directory, if it's directory means that this file, this path is a folder. Okay, this part is a folder, so you can print this is a folder, right? Very easy. And if this path is not file and also is not a directory, so it does not exist, right? So we will print the path does not exist. Okay, very easy, right? So let's try this. Now we can see we are point to the new data.txt which was deleted before. So we see it shows you the path does not exist, right? So we change it a little bit. We remove the prefix name to point to the data.txt here and run it again. And now we will have the result. This is the file, right? And when you point to the data folder, how it show, how display, this is the folder, right? Definitely this is a folder. All right, and when you want to list all files in a folder, how can you do that? Alright, in the data folder, you point to the data folder and you want to list all the item in this folder. It's very easy. But first, to list all the item in the folder, you need to make sure that part is a folder, right? So you need to make sure this path is a directory by the method is directory, and then you will get all the file path from this folder. You need to create an array of string, and we put the names in file, and we use the path and call the method list. This method will return you a list of file, by the path, right? By the path in string data type. So you will check now. In some time, your folder will be empty. So this result, this file will be null. So you need to check it first before you can continue. You need to check if the file is not null. If the file is not null, you will use a loop to go through the array files. File name, file, and in here you can see all the file name. Okay. Alright, and you need to also to operate the else close, right? If the file is null, mean this the folder is empty. So we also need to show this information to the user so they can understand the situation. Folder is empty or inaccessible. In the case it is inaccessible, I think you understand this. Sometimes the folder cannot access because it's owned by another user, okay, or in case that folder is locked by some password, so you cannot access it, okay. And another case that is this path is not a directory, so we also print out to the user to notice this is not a folder, right? Alright, so now we will run this. Alright, in this folder we have just one file, data.txt. So let's create another one by data tree, and let's run it again. And here we see result. We have two different files in the same folder, data. Alright, so this is how you can list all the file name in a folder. And in the case you want to know more information about the file, then just the file name, you can use the list file here. And for the list file, you need to change the data type of the array file by file, because now this method which will return your list of file. And then here we also change this to file, and here we change the name, the file name by the file, and you can get some information from the file like the file name, the name, get the name, and you can also get the path, or get the absolutely path like this, and so on. Alright, so let's run it to see. Alright, now you can get the data.txt, is the file name, and you get the path of the file, and you get the absolutely path, right? Okay, and now how to rename the file, rename the file name, or rename the folder. For example, you have we need just to create an old file. The old file is the data.txt, right? And you create another file, a new file, and you create the I need to put the full path here, and data, and the new file will be inside the folder data, and the name is data rename.txt. So you need to check if the old file rename too, okay, because this method will return you a boolean that make you understand whether the method is successfully operation or not, rename to new file. Okay, and if it's true, you will show that file rename it successfully, and if it's not, you will print file to rename the file. Failed to rename the file. Alright, so let's remember this method, rename to. You can call from the old file and rename to, you put the new file here. This is a parameter you need to put it into the method. Alright, so let's run it to see what happened. Okay, you can see that the old data.txt file is deleted, and then a new file data rename will be created, displayed here, right? And how you can move in a file to a different folder. So you can create another folder. Okay, data 2, you have another folder named data 2, and now you want to move the data3.txt to the data 2. So you will create a file, the target file, that is the data2.txt, and you also create a new file location. It's similar when you when you rename a file, and here you put the new path, data 2, and the name file data3.txt, like this, and you use rename to new location, like this. Okay, this is new. Alright, sorry, you also need to check whether this method executes successfully or not, right? In the case is successfully, you can print out something, success, and if not, you can print fail and run it. Alright, so the data3.txt was moved to the folder data 2. Okay, we learned how to check if a file exists, create and delete files, work with folders, and even rename or move files. These are fundamental operations you'll need when handling files in your Java programs. As always, I recommend trying out these examples in your own code to get hands-on experience. In the next video, we'll dive into even more exciting topics, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.